All right, hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Alt Gen Gamers. This is episode 95. Wow. We're going to start
five
that again.
away.
5 away from the big 100. My God. And today is, what is it, May the 22nd?
Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
And today, this is a Alt Gen Gamers first. We're having our first threesome. It is, in fact, just the three of us, myself and Jason, the EMU review. Jason, what's up?
Not much. Glad to be here.
And another Jason, Mr. Metal Jesus Rocks. What's up, Jason?
It's like a Jason and Jason Pete Dorr sandwich. Yummy.
So, Mr. Gamester81 could not join us this week. And we don't have a guest this week, so we're just going to fly by with the three of us. Ooh. But we will be covering a lot of ground. We'll be going over different segments. I know Metal Jesus has got a lot of stuff prepared, so I guess I'll start off by saying my segment. Oh yeah, I'm jumping right into
let's do it. Let's get right into the segments.
Ready? All right. I'm gonna get a whole bunch of segments out of the way here real fast because you know Pete's game recommendation topic. Well, the answer to all of your questions is Diablo 3.
Wait, now. I don't know. It's been a rough week for Diablo 3. You're saying it's go for it, huh?
Well, yeah. Well, let me just update the listeners on my situation last week where I sounded not too happy, mainly because, you know, the whole computer problem. Well, the computer problem didn't get any better because it ended up that my computer didn't just stop working, but my hard drive completely failed, so I lost everything on my hard drive, which wouldn't be too bad because, you know, whatever, I'll just reinstall all the programs, but I had 4 fully done, ready to upload video reviews ready to go because I sort of wanted to plan ahead because not only am I going to Florida next week for 2 weeks, but I also knew that Diablo 3 was coming out this week and that I would not be in the mood to make videos for quite some time. But since my hard drive failed and I couldn't recover anything and I don't make backups because I'm lazy, but I now will be. Yeah, I lost my video reviews and it's kind of a shame because everybody knows that making reviews takes a long time, and these ones I put a lot of attention into. I really put a lot of time into them, and I lost them. So I haven't quite brought myself back to not only pry myself away from Diablo, but to get back into the video making mood because I had to reinstall all my editing programs and all that crap. And I just have to say that without Diablo 3 right now, I'd be not a happy camper, but that game's been keeping me quite busy. I guess the only positive thing that come out of it is now I have a SSD drive instead of like a regular old hard drive in my computer, so things go a lot faster. And I also have a new monitor, which is leaps and bounds better than my old one. It's a LED 1080p 23-inch monitor hooked up with HDMI. It looks amazing with Diablo. And yeah, so that's Pete's game recommendation for the next 2 years. There you go.
Now, they delayed the real money auction, correct?
They did, and you know, I'm still... The problem... It's not a problem with Diablo. It's kind of nice in a way, and it's kind of not. Because people that played Diablo 2 would know that the number one thing with that was just repeating the game over and over, doing boss runs over and over, and you had to do it so much to get good gear. However, in Diablo 3, while you can still do the same thing, and they make it even harder because the gear that drops in this game is 100% completely random, so it's actually extremely hard to get good gear. However, you can go onto the auction houses and just buy good gear. So instead of having to farm bosses all the time, you can just use the money you make. And at least right now, you can buy some pretty epic gear with not too much money. So some people are kind of 50-50 on it. I kind of enjoy it. I kind of like looking on the auction house, gearing out my character. But in a way, I kind of miss, you know, having to farm bosses for equipment. But I mean, I'm enjoying it. I've beaten the game. That's all I've been playing this week, by the way. So that's my games I've been playing segment out of the way. All I've played this week is just Diablo 3. I've put in quite an unhealthy amount of time into it. All my free time has gone to Diablo. Every time I come home, you know, I jump on the game. I'm about 55-60 hours invested into it. And it's really good. I mean, they've made some changes from Diablo 2. in terms of how customizable your characters are, which I really like. You're not set in stone. If you make a character build that you don't like, it's not like Diablo 2 where you have to re-roll an entire character from scratch. You can kind of change it up on the fly. Right now I have a level 50 monk. The level cap is 60, who just made it to hell difficulty. So that means I beat the game 2 times with him on normal and then nightmare. And I also have a witch doctor, which I've been playing with a few friends online, like Phantom Jest, Bido Empire, and one of my friends, Chris, and he is also on nightmare difficulty. He's level 35. So the game's a lot of fun. If you know a friend that has Diablo 3, they have like friend passes they can give you. So if you're looking to try the game out and you know someone that has it, they should have a friend pass to give you. So I'm really enjoying it. I mean, people might be worried. It's like, oh, they heard the news stories about someone beating Diablo in 12 hours, but those people don't understand Diablo in that Diablo is a game that's meant to be played, 100 times over and over. Not even hundreds, but, upwards of 1,000 times if you're really hardcore into Diablo. All you do is just run through that game over and over to get new gear and just, get better at the game. And the hardest difficulty in this game supposedly is like crazy hard. People are getting one-shotted, so it's quite the hard game.
Now, are the levels still randomized like it used to be?
Yep, levels are completely random, so every time you enter, the level layout is different, the monster layouts are different. Loot, of course, is different, and the hardest thing is sometimes you'll run into it like elite champion mobs who will have random stat alignments given to them. So sometimes it can be impossible to kill a certain enemy type because the random powers assigned to them at the time is just, there's nothing you can do about it, which kind of adds to the challenge. So yeah, Diablo 3, I've been really, really enjoying my time with it. The story actually was kind of interesting. That game needs more cutscenes because they're just amazing. But yeah, if you're looking, don't think of it as an MMO, despite being made by Blizzard. Anybody that's never played Diablo before, think of it more as a single-player, point-and-click action RPG that can be played online with up to 3 other players.
Yeah, see, now that sounds like fun. That sounds like fun to me. And I guess the question is, do you think I would like that game, Pete?
Well, since you haven't played enough RPGs, I should say, for me to gauge what you would be into, Diablo is different enough to the point where even if you don't think you like playing RPGs, this one's worth checking out because it's so, at its core, it's so simple, and it strikes a chord with anybody that has an addiction for sort of decking out their characters, always advancing their equipment and their gear and leveling up, and especially if you like playing with friends because it can get really cooperative later on harder difficulties, and it's just so simple. And every time that new best piece of gear drops and you can swap it out with one of your current ones, like that just feeds into what makes the game so fun to play. I would say definitely try it.
All right, well then here's the $1 million question. I haven't played either of these.
I would do Skyrim first. No, I'm just because
that was my question. Should I do Skyrim or D3?
I would not do Skyrim first because, and I'll tell you why. This happens with games. Play Diablo now while you have friends that are still playing it. Because eventually, a few months from now, people will move on to something else. Whether or not that'll be true for me, I can't really tell. But if the tradition holds true with myself, I, of course, won't be playing this for, years on end because most online RPGs lately I play for like a month or 2 and then move on to something. Diablo might be longer than that, though. I could just say that much. But play Diablo while others are playing it. Otherwise, they'll get too far ahead, and then when you go to play it, it's like you'll be all alone.
All right, got it. Good tip.
Now, speaking of moving on, though, you were playing a ton of Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, and you're not playing that anymore?
I'm not. For some reason, these, I'll just call it this, it might anger some people, but these new WoW-style RPGs that are out there these days just aren't really, they get me hooked for like the first month, and then I just find that I just fall flat and move on, like out of nowhere. I'm just like, oh, done with that game. And I lasted just under a month, I think, with the Old Republic because my month subscription got canceled, obviously, because it's free the first month and I didn't renew. But I don't know, I just find them... I find myself comparing every MMORPG I play to Final Fantasy XI, which to me is still like my baby when it comes to online RPGs. And these new ones, there's just something about them that can't hold me. And I think another problem I have is I always feel like I want to try and play, like make the best character that I can and play certain classes. And then I just come to the realization that, I'll never catch up to these other people, or the class I'm playing is not as fun as I hoped it would be. And then, I just stop playing.
But you don't play World of Warcraft either, though, right? So
I do not. The only time I've ever played WoW was on my old computer on a trial, and the game ran so shitty on the lowest settings I could barely play it, but it was manageable. And I played it for a few days, a week, whatever the hell they let you play for free, and that was it.
Well, what's interesting about it is that, and I'm sure you saw this, is that there's been layoffs. They've been losing subscribers at Knights of the Old Republic, and I think a lot of people are wondering: is anybody ever going to be able to take down World of Warcraft, or is that it? For the foreseeable future?
If Star Wars couldn't do it, I don't think anything can. The only thing that can take it down is World of Warcraft 2, and that's about it.
Make sure to follow us, the All Gen Gamers podcast, on Facebook and Twitter. Subscribe to us on YouTube and in iTunes. And don't forget about those iTunes ratings, guys. We appreciate those. And for all other info, links, and our forum, please visit www.allgengamers.com.